We bring you the latest edition of MBC News with me, Kumbukani Piri, and our sign language interpreter tonight is Savita Wirima. Our top stories. The Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Climate Change appeals for the speedy completion of the Kolongo multipurpose dam to avoid overspending on the project. The Malawi Police Service confirms the arrest of leader of opposition, Simplex Chichola Banda, on Sunday morning. And African countries urge to make affordable housing a priority investment to drive sustainable urban developments. I'm glad you could join us. Our top story tonight. The Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Climate Change is demanding the swift completion of the Kolongo multipurpose dam to avoid overspending on the project. The project, which has seen its costs more than double from 60 billion kwacha to 133 billion kwacha, is now scheduled for completion by June next year. Chairperson of the committee, Taona Henry, emphasized that allocating adequate resources for the implementation of the project would enable contractors to finalize the work on time and within budget. Details in this report by Trust Office.
The construction of the Kolongo multipurpose dam, which started in March 2023 and was expected to be completed in February 2026, has shown commendable progress, with both the dam and the water treatment site now at 80% completion rate. Central Region Water Board Acting Chief Executive Officer Bukawaya noted that the critical component requiring attention is the procurement and construction of a pipeline from the dam to Mponela and Madisi trading centers.
The total pipeline for this project, it's a total length of 47 kilometers. From here at the dam to Mponela. Currently, the pipeline that has been procured under the project is 16 kilometers. So we still have about 30 kilometers of pipeline that is yet to be procured for the project, which is significant at the moment.
Chairperson for the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Climate Change, Taona Henry, expressed hope that the speedy completion of the project will create business opportunities for communities around the dam through both crop and fish farming.
It's quite a big project which is going to benefit almost 191,000 beneficiaries and almost close to 141,000 households having potable water. It's quite huge, so we are impressed as members of Parliament.
Once the project is complete, the Central Region Water Board is expected to pump 40 million litres of water per day from the dam to Madisi and Mponela, with nearly 5,000 households benefiting through irrigation facilities for crop production as well as fish farming. Trust Office, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Government says it is ready to scale up its support for the aquaculture industry to boost the national economy and improve food security. Minister of Natural Resources Patricia Whiskas made these remarks in Lilongwe during a special visit to the Lilongwe University of Agriculture and Natural Resources Luana Aquaculture Center of Excellence. Charles Wahara has more in this report.
During the visit, Whiskas noted that the Luana Aquaculture Center of Excellence is key in fish production in the country and therefore requires government support for academic research and consumption. She pointed out that fish production can earn Malawi foreign exchange, hence the need to empower the Center of Excellence with resources that can promote productivity and academic research.
The reason that we came here is actually to sit down and discuss with the team in terms of the support that they require from government, and we are very ready to provide all the necessary support that we can. If it means we have to introduce a tax waiver for the products that they are importing to ensure that we bring down the cost as government, we are very ready to do that. But where necessary, we are also ready to finance, whether from government coffers and from development cooperating coffers as well, good development cooperating partners coffers as well, to ensure that we bring in the necessary support.
Luana Vice-Chancellor Professor Emmanuel Kaunda commended the minister for the visit, saying government and academia work together along the lines of policy and research. Professor Kaunda also commended the government for its support in various fields, adding that increased support in aquaculture at Luana will lead to higher fish production, noting that the institution currently produces 22 million quality juvenile fish.
If you look at countries that are doing well in aquaculture or in many sectors, government works very, very closely with academicians, with private sector. Government's role is to provide guidance, is to provide policy environment, is to support the initiative. Now, what we like about this is that government has an agenda for now. We've seen in the papers, they have advertised that they're going to erect 100 cages. 100 cages is no mean business. If we're going to be successful in that initiative, us as academicians and government must work very, very close together. Because why? They will need seed. They will need, we call them fingerlings, the small fish. And who is going to produce those fingerlings? You have seen the capacity which we have here. As of now, we can be able to produce 22 million seed, but not just seed, quality seed.
The Africa Center of Excellence in Aquaculture and Fishery Science at Luana was established in 2016, funded by the World Bank Group, with the mission to produce skilled human resources in aquaculture and fisheries for Eastern and Southern Africa. Charles Wahara, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The Malawi Police Service has confirmed the arrest of Leader of Opposition in Parliament, Simplex Chichola Banda, on Sunday morning. Chichola Banda handed himself to police following an arrest warrant granted by the Mkukula Magistrates Court. National Police publicist Leo Chintembo confirmed the arrest of Chichola, but he was unable to give details on the arrest. Deputy Commissioner of Police for the Northern Region, Isaac Norman, has warned police prosecutors against corrupt practices in the line of duty. Speaking at the opening of a day-long training workshop in Mzuzu, Norman urged officers to maintain integrity when discharging their duties to ensure the fair administration of justice. Blessings Gondwe reports.
According to Norman, police prosecutors are crucial in achieving conviction of perpetrators in court. He said this is why they organized a capacity building workshop for the prosecutors in the Northern Region. He further emphasized the need for professionalism of prosecutors when discharging their duties.
When the case has been brought to the prosecutor, it has to be in line with a specific law. For example, if it is to do with theft, which section in the penal code is talking about a theft? If they do not draft it properly, that amounts to an acquittal or a discharge. So in order to avoid more discharges or acquittals, it is necessary that the prosecutors are conversant with the law and how they can draft particular charges to particular offences.
Regional Prosecution Officer for the North, Superintendent Beth Msoya, said some laws have changed and it was necessary for the prosecutors to undergo the training.
Most of the prosecutors, they are not trained. They are just attached to the branch. Because of financial problems, they are not sent to the trainings. And there are some other prosecutors that are trained, but it's a long time that they went for the trainings. So there's that gap with the new laws that are coming in that we needed to bring them together and impact them with the new laws that are there for them to be easily managing the cases before the courts.
The training attracted 85 prosecutors from the Northern Region. Blessings Gondwe, MBC News, Mzuzu.
This is MBC News, a reminder of our top stories. The Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Climate Change appeals for the speedy completion of the Kolongo multipurpose dam to avoid overspending on the project. The Malawi Police Service confirms the arrest of Leader of Opposition, Simplex Chichola Banda, on Sunday morning. And African countries urged to make affordable housing a priority investment to drive sustainable urban development.
According to Norman, police prosecutors,
something big is coming on NBC. Not what you've seen before. A new force is about to hit the road. Crafted for presence, engineered for power, designed to turn every head before it even arrives. You'll hear it before you see it. You'll feel it before you know it. This isn't just another launch. It's the beginning of advanced broadcasts. Unveiling soon on NBC. Stay ready.
Programu yatsopano ya luso ndi chitukuko. Kalondolondo wa ntchito za bungwe la TVETA zomwe akupindula Malawi ndi bungweli. Nkhani za ma technical college, kukamba za mabasale, kupereka zipangizo zophunzira ndi zina, kupereka upangiro wakagwiridwa ka ntchito ku makampani komanso mafakitale. Zonsezi pa MBC TV1 lachitatu lililonse kuyambira nthawi ya 5 koloko kumadzulo, ndipo programu iyi idzibwerezedwa lachisanu nthawi ya 2:30 masana. MBC TV2 on the go lolemba lililonse nthawi ya 12 koloko masana, lachinayi lililonse nthawi ya 9 koloko mmawa. Osaphonyana ndi programu ya luso ndi chitukuko.
We continue with MBC News. Now, the Ministry of Youth Sports has expressed its interest in boosting the creative industry by investing more in arts and culture. Director of Arts in the Ministry, Humphrey Mpondaminga, said this in Lilongwe during the launch of the Pabwalo Multi-Purpose Hall, a new hub designed for knowledge, arts and ideas. Madali Somhango has details in this report.
According to Mpondaminga, the Pabwalo space plays a key role in providing a platform for young people to showcase arts and culture, fostering creativity while preserving the Malawian heritage. He added that the space is part of efforts to integrate traditional knowledge with modern technology, allowing children and future generations easier access to arts and culture.
We are trying to integrate our interest in arts and culture, but also the adaptation of digital technologies, so that we use digital technologies to access arts and culture. Like I was saying, the first phase of the project was to document Malawian folk tales. So we have these folk tales online. So the same space will work as a hub, whereas those who are interested would walk in, access computers, go online, and see what exactly these folk tales are all about.
Chief Executive Officer for the National Library Service, Abata Selemani, said the Pabwalo space will enable the institution to provide access to tangible knowledge, contributing to lifelong learning among young people.
We are losing knowledge which is tacit, intangible knowledge, which resides in the experiences of our culture. So we said maybe if we can create a space where people can express themselves, where people can perform, maybe through their folk songs, through their folk tales, our kids, they can also learn our tradition and our culture, and we can preserve it, and then that is going to contribute to long-term, lifelong learning.
The Pabwalo Multipurpose Space has been launched through a collaborative effort involving the National Library Service, the Malawi National Commission for UNESCO, Music Crossroads, and the Ray Foundation Limited. The facility has been designed to host cultural activities, including traditional storytelling, folk songs, and cultural exhibitions. Madalito Mhango, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Founder of music promotion company Entertainers Promotion, Jai Banda, has appealed to the corporate world in the country to support music promoters during music events. Speaking after hosting Saturday Easter show in Mangochi, Banda said most music promoters quit the industry due to losses they incur after hosting music events.
In Malawi, there are very few people who support events like this. If you can note in the history of Malawi, those who have been supporting events, they do one show, two shows, two events, then they leave. Because most of them, when you do it single-handedly, the money which you invest in that, it doesn't come back. So what I'm appealing to the corporate world is that when we do these events, please support us. Because without your support, things don't work out well. Sometimes let's do something for our country, because money is not the end of everything. That they feel that they are losing, in their businesses, but sometimes doing something for your country is good.
In other news, African countries are being called on to make affordable housing a priority investment to drive sustainable urban development. Executive Director of UN Habitat, Anna Claudia Rosbach, made the remarks at the Urban Africa Forum, which took place at the Kenyan International Conference Center, KICC, in Nairobi. Tauson Magombo has a report.
The forum aimed at addressing challenges in infrastructure access and socioeconomic transformation among African nations. In her remarks, Executive Director of UN Habitat, Anna Claudia Rosbach, hinted on establishment of people-centered policies that are crucial in addressing Africa's urban challenges. She highlighted the importance of prioritizing affordable housing, transforming informal settlements, and addressing climate change.
Africa is the world's fastest urbanizing region, with cities growing at an average annual rate of 3.5%. This is a benchmark in human history. And by 2050, 6 out of 10 Africans will live in urban areas. 80% of Africa's population is going to be in cities. And over 60% of Africa's total population is under the age of 25. Urban areas are already generating nearly 60% of Africa's GDP. But at the same time, 60% of people are lacking adequate shelter.
Additionally, Kenyan President William Ruto emphasized the need for Africa to take charge in leveraging its resources and youth energy to drive transformation. Ruto described the provision of affordable housing for the continent as a fundamental right for all Africans.
You haven't seen the kind of impact that this has on real people. When I went to move the first batch of people who are living in a slum right here in Nairobi called Mukuru, a place where there is no toilet, a place where there is no road, there is no water, there is no electricity. For you to use the toilet, you have to pay. For them to move from that state to 10th floor of a building that has water, that has piped gas, that has electricity, that has a lift, that has a playground, that has a school, that has a hospital, that has street lighting, You don't know the kind of impact you make to those kind of people.
The forum was held under the theme Affordable Housing for All. Telson Magombo, MBC News.
NASA says preparations for the next lunar missions are ongoing. Speaking at a press conference after successfully returning 4 astronauts from the moon on a Artemis 2 mission, NASA's program manager Howard Hu said the agency is testing the system and operation capabilities of its space nuclear propulsion technology as it is gearing up for another mission in 2028. Telson Magombo has the details.
As celebration continues following a successful Artemis 2 mission, NASA says it is working tirelessly for the next lunar missions in the coming years. Speaking to reporters after completion of Artemis 2 mission, NASA's program manager Howard Hu expressed the hope for the forthcoming mission.
In honor of your husband, no one knows what the families went through, man. This was not easy. Being 200,000 plus miles away from home, like before you launch, it feels like it's the greatest dream on earth. And when you're out there, you just want to get back to your families and your friends. It's a special thing to be a human, and it's a special thing to be on planet Earth.
On the other hand, the captain for Artemis 2 mission, Reed Wiseman, added that the agency has learned a lot from recent missions, hence a lot could be expected in the future explorations. Apart from moon explorations, the agency is expected to send astronauts to Mars. Telson Magombo, MBC News.
Well, that item also wraps up this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. The Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Climate Change appeals for the speedy completion of the Kolongo multipurpose dam to avoid overspending on the project. The Malawi Police Service confirms the arrest of leader of opposition Simplex Chichola Banda on Sunday morning. And African countries urged to make affordable housing a priority investment to drive sustainable urban development. Keep up to date with our news on our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You've been with me, Kumbukani Piri, alongside Savita Wirima, our sign language interpreter. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.
School's out, fun's in, adventures on, homework done, and holiday mode